Dear friends, actually we are facing a lot of problem related with COVID-19, but still our automobile industry is now doing good job. Majority of the industry has started their production, and I am confident that the great contribution of automobile industry in the growth of Indian economy. The industry's volume is of 4,50,000 crore, out of which 1,45,000 crore is export, and this is the industry which is creating more employment potential in India. Regarding changing in technology, it is the continuous process, and today we are all facing the problem of air pollution, which is really one of the crucial problem for the country. That is the one of the important reason that we need import substitute cost effective pollution free and indigenous solution. As far as our import is concerned, because of crude oil, our 7 lakh crores of import is only for crude oil. That is really a very challenging task for Indian economy. But now our scientists, our innovators, our research scholars are constantly working on the research, and by which we are in position now that alternative fuels are now successfully used in different type of vehicles. We have ethanol economy, and now we are in process making marine fuel and aviation fuel from ethanol. We are also successfully implemented the experiment by using bio-aviation fuel in helicopters and fighter jet at last 26 January, and successfully we have taken one of the spice jet flight from Dehradun to Delhi by using 25% bio-aviation fuel. The most of the angle which is related with this economy is we need to create more jobs, but definitely we need to create more jobs in agriculture, rural, tribal, socially, economically backward area, where GDP contribution is very negligible. So the biofuels, electricity is the future fuel, and now presently we are already working on this line with a very high speed, which I am expecting that we will get results just in the next year, and we will be one of the leading manufacturers in the world. Because of this scrapping policy, I feel that is also the strength and plus point for our automobile industry. We have now lot of indigenous parts which are already manufactured in the country, and when the number will increase, that is going to reduce the cost. Initially the manufacturer, those who are interested in this line, they will get low margins, but after getting high volume, definitely they will get good business. Presently electric bikes from Bajaj and TVS, both bikes, I got appointed to launch these both bikes. The quality is very good, and many small players are also making electric scooters and electric bikes. Electric cars are also popular, and now electric buses are also very economically viable as compared with the diesel. The state transport and city transport purpose, already the municipal corporation has started purchasing buses on electric. Now the cost of diesel per kilometer in Mumbai best is 115 rupees per kilometer. Our ethanol bus cost is 78 rupees per kilometer and our electric is 50, and in due course of time again it will be reduced by at least 10 to 15 rupees. This is my expectation, because the more manufacturer, more number of buses, that is going to reduce the cost. But at the same time, we need to upgrade our technology about charging also. To make charging easily, that is also one of the key thing in this industry. Government has already taken giving only 12% GST on electric vehicle. Still, some of the people, they are expecting subsidy from the government. Now presently government already trying their level best to give maximum concessions. But the more concessions which are already our industry is expecting, I feel that it will be more difficult, because in a situation, economic situation, we are going through a bad shape where it will be, I feel it very difficult. But one thing is that every month the number of vehicle which we are selling now, the number is going to increase. And when the volume will be increased, it will be a game changer. Now in some of the country also, I am confident that within 5 years, India will become a #1 manufacturing hub for electric buses, electric cars and electric bikes and scooter. Because the way in which we are developing, we have got tremendous potential. There is also blessing in disguise that particularly in the whole world now, the majority countries are not interested to deal with China. That is also one of the strength for Indian industry. So there is a huge potential for export, particularly in the country where crude oil is not available. They are importing crude oil. It is definitely going to give them good economic benefits, and pollution point of view, that is also equally important. So government policy is working on all fronts. We are working on ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, LNG, electric, then a hydrogen fuel cell also the research is going on. So whatever the Indian option which is available, that is exactly we want to encourage that. Agriculture is one of the crucial sector for the country, where we have surplus sugar, surplus wheat, surplus rice. Definitely it can be a good option, good alternative for agriculture, that diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector. Economy, as far as the socially, economically, educationally backward area, which is maximum agriculture, tribal and rural area, where we need to have more concentration on that, and that is very important for Indian economy. The technology, research, particularly the startup, stand-up, many individuals have a lot of new innovation in this field, and we have got the full capability that our people have. They have proved many technology by their genius approach. Every time they invented the new thing, and that is very important for the industry. One of the feeling which is in my mind is all electric manufacturers, they have more concentrated on how the government is giving the benefit to them. Actually, the 12% GST is a big benefit. But now I feel that by scrapping policy, even we will be in position to reduce the manufacturing cost. But now, because of the number is not very high, the costs are also very high. That is one of the crucial problem related with the industry. Somewhere we need to find out the solution that how it can be economically viable for the large number of people to get electric vehicle, electric bike, electric scooter. And regarding buses, I feel that the London transport is exactly a correct experiment, where by using that experiment we are in position where we need private investment and private people can invest in public transport through electric buses, and that this system can be very, I feel that it can be have got a tremendous potential, where it is in win-win situation. It is going to benefit the poor people, at the same time the civil administration, and pollution point of view it is in national interest. We have got lot of generation on now is number, I don't know exactly how much megawatt we are generated, but as far as generation is concerned, we are now have got the tremendous capacity. So I feel that this is definitely going to helpful for the industry. We are also planning to make a pilot project, electric highway on Delhi-Mumbai Express Highway. When I visited Sweden, I got appointed to see the electric highway. We are trying to find out on that way to how it can be possible. We want to run a pilot project. We are discussing with the company. So my feeling is there is a huge potential and we can think about it, and I feel that it is really supportive for the industry. I only advise to you that we need consistency and at the same time self-confidence, and is very important presently in the situation of this economic crisis, and because of the crisis because of COVID-19. I am confident that industry is fully capable. We are now in the already starting our production. I am confident that you will get good market, and government is 100% supporting you, and whatever the rules, regulation, anywhere, what is the problem you are facing, we will definitely find out the way out and we will help you. I am giving my all best wishes to all stakeholders, which I want to assure you that the future of this industry is very good, and within 5 years India will become a manufacturing hub of electric vehicles. Once again, I am giving my all best wishes to you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your presence here today, and thank you also for your opening remarks. Sir, looking ahead in regards to India becoming self-reliant in this field, China has a lot of control of the raw materials in terms of lithium and rare earth metals like cobalt, etc., which are raw materials that go into the supply chain. How do we remain?
Just 5 minutes. I will just come. You can start your discussion. I will come within 5 minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you. Anilji, you were speaking of the way forward. May I request you to please continue? You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, so I was speaking about the roadmap or the direction in which the stakeholders should be moving forward. And I said that one has to have a short-term, immediate direction in which we would be moving, and that would be probably in line with what the direction in which we were moving forward pre-COVID. But the roadmap has to take into account the disruption which the COVID has created, and we have to plan for a long-term strategy as I look at it. Now, as a short term, and a lot of steps have been taken, and I was just illustrating a few of them. Ministry of Power has recently come out about a week back classifying various other options which could, as our Honorable Minister has also spoke about a few things which we have to take note, and we cannot ignore those facts. And he clearly mentioned about the generally look out for the financial assistance, and he also spoke about the bright future, and he also spoke about the self-dependence or manufacturing hub within next 5 years' time. Now, this cannot happen unless we do not have a roadmap that how do we want to move forward in that direction. And for that, and the other considerations would be, I mean, he also spoke about it was the imports and the local value add to the products. So all these things have to be incorporated in. They are to be clubbed. Have the milestone for a winner, and the winner.
For that reason, already my colleague in Niti Aayog is here. On this self-dependent, if any other scheme which is going to be helpful for us for self-dependence, where government can think to support them. Actually, we need import substitute. We need 100% Indian vendors, Indian manufacturers should manufacture all type of the parts and whatever the battery or whatever the things may be. I know there are some problems related with lithium-ion battery and other thing. But today our startup are also working on a different line and different technology. So my suggestion is, with the most important thing for the industry is to find out important alternative for the imports, particularly related with the battery and other thing. We need to find out the solution in India, and for particular reason, if we need some help from the government, we will think about it. But this is the time that for the industry, for upgradation of technology, for getting FDI in industry, foreign investment, and by that you can make more export. And the success story of our automobile is, you started from once upon a time we have Fiat, Ambassador and Jeep, Mahindra. But when the joint venture of Maruti Suzuki starts, and Maruti, because of Maruti, total automobile sector is changed. Now the whole good brand in the whole world now are in India. All technology they are implementing in India. We have got availability of technological young generation is there. Young engineers are there. The people are talented. We need to make more research. And I will request you one thing. For the research purpose also, compare with the institutions and engineering colleges and IIT, it is the time for the industry to invest in their research. For that purpose, every industry should have their research wing, where I am trying my level best. If you can give me a proposal, if there is any concession, if you can get it because of for the research from income tax, we can move that. So the every manufacturer to start his own research institute for technology, for existing technology, they can upgrade the technology. And technology is the key of success. Whatever the good technology which we have, on the basis of that only we will get good market and good export. So I feel that this is the time, and I am in a government process to get good technology is a very difficult task. The private people can encourage and they can find out the way out, and the people, those who are going to invest in technology for the future, 100% they will be benefited. That is my angle about it.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I know the time is short and you have another meeting to attend, but with your permission, Mr. Chetan Mehri wanted to pose a question to you.
Okay.
If you have a few minutes, may I request Chetan to make a statement and pose his question?
Namaste, Nitin Gadkari ji. So nice to see you, and thank you for taking the time. You're very right. I think we need to look at India as a push. I know in the last 3 years, we've put close to 200 people in EV deployment. And I think if all companies come together, we can create a true horsepower in the country on this area. I also feel it's important that the industry does more for the entire economy. One of the things we have recently done is partnered with the LSC for accelerating green mobility initiatives, where we're training ITI people to actually how to assemble small electric vehicles and then use them run them themselves for logistics delivery. So it's important we bring electric mobility and not just the large companies, but how do we take it all the way down? And this is going to be the other area. I do think the industry needs a couple of other things besides what you've talked. One is, you rightly said that the GST has come down, and this has been very helpful. But the people who use these two-wheelers and three-wheelers and rickshaws, today, if they have to do either charging services or swapping services, they today have a GST of 18% versus 5% on a vehicle. Now, for someone who wants to adopt electric vehicle, especially rickshaw people, and are people who are going to be driving our economy, we've got to make sure the GST and services of these areas match the products so that they're not getting a burden to adopt, pay 18% more for using electrification. So while the policies are there, we just want a uniformity to especially help the group that wants to go electric, especially since recently the Ministry of Power has opened up to say that infrastructure can come in, which means many companies will put infrastructure in. And with this policy coming in place, the GST is aligned, this would help adoption of electric mobility across the masses. And the other part is that we have a lot of great policies in the country, same queue on this area that has come through. It's important that it is technology agnostic. So today there are subsidies for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and others. But if a customer wants to choose a battery swapping versus another option, he may not get the subsidy in the same way. And so it's important that the policies which have come at the top level become uniform so that they can be pushed across on this front. This will really help the industry. Right? And the last part is, again, at the top level, at the country level, we are talking about electrification. But at the state level, a lot of manufacturers are having challenges for registration of vehicles, getting out there and implementing them. So again, it's important that how do we get the states involved and the local cities involved so that OEMs all across, solution providers who want to go electric, we are able to remove these barriers. So at the time of COVID, post-COVID, it's important we get this part of the economy really moving. Small changes in policy or implementation of them, I believe, can have a multiplying effect on the EV policy of the country, and look forward to your continued support in helping some of these being implemented.
Thank you. Is absolutely correct. On this line, we need exactly the grassroots level problem where you need government help. My suggestion is we can make because this subject is related with 2-3 ministries, we can formulate one group, working group, and Niti Aayog will take the initiative. And whatever the problem you are facing, we will resolve that issue. I feel that we have got the capability and we can make it increase the production of e-vehicle in the country on a large scale. But the small bottlenecks which we need to address, and if we can formulate a small group, we can address that issue and we will resolve the issues and we will go ahead. Government policy is very positive, very supporting, and we will support you. My assessment is from last 2 years, every day we are marching ahead. And people are taking good initiative, the industry is also taking good initiative. Their quality of vehicles is also good. And 100% I am confident that that quality will definitely going to attract foreign investor also. And regarding the technology upgradation is a big challenge, because every day people are giving new options. So that is one of the problem, that if one option you can use it, till now you will get 10 more options, alternatives, and that is the problem. But somewhere it is depending upon the industry that which will be the long-term successful technology by which you can go for big production. That is exactly a business outlook. But I feel that the future is very bright. People are preferring it. When you increase the number, you reduce the cost, you will get more market. Actually, I don't know, I'm not an automobile engineer or expert person, but my feeling is the manufacturing cost, production cost of electric vehicle is in comparison with petrol and diesel is less. It is the starting point, that the reason that we need to pay something more for that. But definitely when the number will increase, it will be a game changer, and definitely it will support industry. But selection of appropriate technology are very important. And my suggestion is, this is the time, it's a blessing in disguise. If the industry gets foreign technology, good technology, appropriate technology, then it is to be upgradation of technology. The time period is really one of the important time period that you can use it for that. And second thing, I feel that for foreign investment also, now it's possible in the whole world. The investor now keenly interested to invest in India. So both things are there, and I feel that the future of the industry is very bright, and we can formulate a group in the ministry with the Niti Aayog, and whatever the task, whatever the problems on the grassroots level you are facing, we will try to find out the way out for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you also, sir, for your positive outlook. I've heard you say recently that many people find opportunity in a crisis, and many people find a problem in an opportunity. So thank you for your positive outlook. Sir, if you still have time, and if you have a few more minutes, then may I request the other panelists also to address you. If you do have time, you can say.
Last two questions. Okay, we will take it.
Thank you, sir. Mahesh, is there anything that you'd like to ask the minister?
Yeah.
So this is.
Yeah, thank you. This is Mahesh here. Namaskar, Sri Nitin Gadkari ji. Government have always been supportive on electric mobility till now, and the industry today is, as you said, is jointly working with government and the customer to see how India can become globally competitive. I have only two requests to you, and other things have been talked to my colleague, which we are seriously working. When we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we want to make many components in India, we are only looking at lithium-ion cell. But in EV technology, there are many technologies like motor controller, power electronics, and the battery management system. There are many 30 to 40% of the value add today are also being imported. If you look at Mahindra, we have invested on all these technologies and already localized many in our Trio 3-wheeler. Today in our Trio 3-wheeler, except the cell, everything else is localized. When we have localized, we are also request you, the government, to think there are a lot of inverted duty structure on import. For example, if I import a motor controller, it is 0%, but if I buy raw material for the motor controllers, it is at 10 to 12% duty. So because of this, the manufacturing outcome of Make in India is having some challenges. We have already represented. I am sure if it comes to your notice, you will be able to appreciate if we have higher duty on raw material, we will not be able to have any value addition for putting investment in Make in India. The second one, which you have rightly said, Honorable Minister, is on R&D in India. If you look at, we are doing a lot of R&D in India as Mahindra. We have been invested in R&D to make new products, new technology, everything. But I believe the R&D income tax exception for industry is going away, and that will have some impact on investment in R&D. If that also can be considered, it will boost people who will invest in R&D, particularly.
Yes, these are good suggestions. We will think about it. Actually, you give me one proposal regarding income tax. I will take it to Finance Minister. Those who are manufacturer want to establish their laboratories, their research centers. For that purpose, we can give them some income tax concession. So that can be also a good help to him. We'll do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Naveen, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, thank you. Namaskar, sir. Thank you so much for your positive comments, sir. So we've been pushing electric mobility in India for over a decade now, and in the two-wheeler segment, India, majority of the vehicles on the roads, aapko bhi pata is, are two-wheelers, and we've been pushing it very actively. So while we've been working very actively in localization and Make in India, there is still a matter of scale, sir. the whole industry is way too small right now for any large, serious tier one companies to take us seriously and invest into the components and tooling which is required. So Jesse, the minute we localize, about 30% हमारी cost वैसी बढ़ जाती है, so because of the volume not being there. So that is one factor. The second factor is, so when we talk about subsidy, etc., so there are two ways to look at it. So one is the monetary and the second is the non-monetary terms. So in monetary, so abhi jo government ka support hai with the FAME 2 support is only for the premium end of the vehicles, because there is a certain range and speed criteria which has been established. Whereas the market, 90% of the market is actually not in that category. The 90% of the market is in the lower performance category, where people are using as a means of commute as an alternate from public transport. So wahan pe koi support nahi hai, sir. So all we've been saying is, rather than giving an additional subsidy or anything of that sort, if that tweaking can happen to include the vehicles which are actually being used by the masses, to help, that will help the market hugely. So it's only a 1.5 lakh unit market in total. So that's insignificant in terms of size. If we have to get to the volume that we are looking at, so we could have been at 1 million units right now. So had the policies been right. So just some tweaking of policies is required, sir, or if not, then maybe going back to the earlier policy which was there, which was FAME 1, that at least had a lot of growth in it. So isme to degrowth hogi, yes, sir, of the vehicles that are in this policy.
We will think all this problem. I feel that in a joint group with the concerning ministry and Niti Aayog and other things, we will find out the grassroots problem, because I understand there are problems and this is the starting time. So starting teething trouble are there. But some of the issues, my only suggestion to you bifurcate issue related with the road ministry, related with the heavy industries, related with the MSME, related with the finance ministry. Now as a MSME also we want to encourage you, and we change the definition now. So this can be a golden opportunity for particularly the vendors now, those who are making different type of parts. Now we have the change the definition is a big change. Actually you can get an advantage as a MSME, because some of the industry, the small startup also, the micro industry, previously there was a criteria, manufacturing and service was the different criteria, but now merge it and now it is manufacturing and services. For macro the investment was 25 lakh, now it's 1 crore, and turnover was 10 lakh, it comes to 5 crore. The small industry, the investment was 5 crore and turnover was 2 crore. Now the investment coming to 10 crore and turnover to 50 crore. The most important thing is for medium, investment is 10 crore, it was now going up to 50 crore, and turnover was 5 crore, it go to 250 crore, excluded exports. So by getting registration of MSME also, you will get lot of advantage. So the vendors who are now making different type of parts, if they can enter into as a medium scale or small scale industries, they will be benefited. One thing which again I will request you, if you are planning to make industrial cluster for electric vehicle, then also we can think about it, because we need to develop skilled manpower and the vendors for the different part of which we need for manufacturing for the e-vehicle. If we can make industrial cluster for that, I am ready to support you. That can be also a good help for the industry. And I feel that regarding research, and there are three parts are important. One is research, innovation and research. Third is skilled, trained manpower. For that purpose, availability of raw material, that is the three important things are involved in this thing. I feel that it is the time which I am directly want to tell you, because I was not using that words. Well, we should not be dependent upon China now. We need to take initiative to take the option. Now presently the Chinese price are attractive. You are getting good profit by importing the parts. But for long term, it is the time for the country, for the industry also, that we need to start that everything in India. Without that, we don't have a good future. Otherwise, the Chinese, somewhere they can give some reasonable concessional rate at the starting point, and when your industry will run for a good production, they will charge more. So again, there will be a problem. So self-dependent on everything is the key of success for this industry, and that is exactly the dream of Prime Minister, Atmanirbhar Bharat, that we need to option for everybody. So we are also working on one scheme from last 3 years, export and imports. Now I am trying, it's not in my hand. For the import substitute, we are going to frame new policy. In that particular policy, if we give me suggestion for that, in that case, I will try my level best to get you more concession from the finance ministry for getting making production in India. But that is to be, we need to make more detailed study for that. But our role is very positive and supporting. We understand there is a bright future of this industry. There is a huge potential for employment potential, and also the capability in the Indian engineering, young talented people. I feel that we can make more new innovations, new research by which we can give alternative for all the things which are available in the world, particularly related with the e-vehicles. So on that line, definitely we will work. You also make research and study of present situation and kindly give me the details about it. We will think and we will work on the line. Presently I am in charge for MSME and also for the as a transport minister. So please department wise prepare the notes and give it to us. We will definitely try to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nishant, on the commercial vehicle front, do you have anything?
Good afternoon, sir. I think, sir, you have said it all. So from the bus sector, since you understand the STUs and bus has been one of the prime focus areas for you. So, sir, currently the gross cost contract model is what is going on across the country because that has been more efficient. So, sir, we have been requesting for some priority lending to the operators and for the gross cost contract so that the cost effectiveness can be brought in and they can get the funding timely, sir. So that is a big request which is there from the whole community so that this model can take off. And the largest allocation in FAME 2 also is to public transport and buses. So that is something which will be going to benefit the masses across the country. And today's date, all the operators are in a very tough situation. So secondly, sir, you spoke about exports, sir. So that is another area, sir, that a lot of us are getting a lot of export opportunities. But something for EV sector on the export area, if that support and that kind of motivation can be provided and finance ministry can support with your request, I think, sir, then things could come on right track and India can become a manufacturing hub for such kind of products, what we have been looking at and what you have been propelling, sir, always on Make in India. So those were the 2 points I just wanted to put across. I think everything else has been covered by my colleagues.
One thing I will request you, start your own NBFC, and if you can possible for you to get the finance from abroad with the low interest, you can make a model that in the municipal corporation for the operator, you can give your buses on the deferred payment basis and every month they will deposit your money back. So that will be a proposal with NBFC and operator and the manufacturer. Three will come together and formulate a proposal. At least there is a requirement of 10 lakh buses. Yeah. And we can do it. There is a huge potential. My feeling is somewhere you take the initiative and take your own NBFC or some NBFC in it. One NBFC stakeholder, one is the manufacturer and other is the operator. The three come together and formulate and they can cooperate. The huge potential is there. There is no problem about economic viability. Somewhere if you are expecting cooperation from bank, then priority lending, yeah, these are things I don't want to object it, but these are very difficult because in the agriculture also we are giving priority lending. For when we started to giving priority lending to transport sector, then there will be, everyone will demand. So there is a problem. So my suggestion is through NBFC you can get more foreign investment, and if it can be possible, your interest cost will be less. Now in South Korea, Japan, the people when deposited their money in banks, they have to give interest for that. So somewhere international collaboration, or particularly the country those where you are making your imports, on the basis of that, is there is any new vehicle you can formulate by which you are in position to finance the thing. And there are three important stakeholders: operators, manufacturers, and at the same time the investor, bankers. But now presently state government, municipal corporation, their economic situation is very, very bad. So operator will operate, he will charge the tickets, every day he will deposit money in escrow account, and that money will go to manufacturer. That is to be way out. On the basis of these three stakeholders coming together, and if they can start and using this model, there is a huge potential for getting buses, electric buses. Now for school buses, city buses, there is a huge potential. All cities are now, they are now interested to purchase these vehicles, but they don't have money, but the business is there. You need to find out some new option for that. That can be a good alternative. This is my feeling.
Right, sir. I think, sir, the only point I just wanted to share, sir, that today 99% of the operators are MSMEs, sir. So, sir, if some support can be given from your side through SIDBI to these operators also, till such NBFC structures come in, I think would be very instrumental in promoting, sir.
You come to me in one MSME, give me some proposal, we will work on it. There is a huge potential, sure, and I will support from MSME side to them.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I believe that that you have a next appointment that you need to attend. I'd like to thank you very much once again for all the time that you've given us this morning. You've been very generous with your time and very generous with your views. So thank you once again for your presence here.
Thanks. Namaskar.
Namaskar.